Hi guys, just wanted to look at setting up a couple of these word equations. Okay, sometimes the wording can trip us up a little bit, so help you guys set them up a little bit. So for the first one, this is for, I don't know if you have the same number in your sheet, but it's the average wind speed in Calgary is 4/5 of the average wind speed in Regina. The average wind speed in Calgary is 16 kilometers per hour. What is the average wind speed in Regina? So one way to look at these is just figure out which one's bigger and which one's smaller. I like to do that. So when I go, I have, it says the average wind speed in Calgary is 4/5 the average wind speed in Regina. So which is bigger between the two? Is it Calgary or Regina? Okay. So when I say something is 4/5 of Regina, okay, notice that this is less than 1. Right? So this number is less than 1. 1 is the bigger number. So if I can realize that Regina is the bigger one. So I'm just going to do a big R and a small c. Okay, so if I want to go from, say I know the number of the wind speed in Regina, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to multiply by 4/5 to get the Calgary wind speed. And this will give me a number that's smaller. Okay, because I'm multiplying by a fraction, I'm making it smaller. Okay. Now if I want to go the opposite way, so if I want to go from Calgary to Regina, I know the wind speed in Calgary, okay, which in this case I do, and I want to go the opposite way, it's going to be the opposite operation. So a lot of these are kind of thinking about, you know, if I'm going this way and I'm multiplying by the fraction, the opposite way I'm going to have to divide by the same fraction, by 4/5. Okay. And you'll notice that this is the number that I'm going to flip, right? So this is going to be times 5/4. Okay. And notice now that this is greater than 1. So this actually equals 1 and 1/4. Right? So I'm now multiplying by something that's greater than 1. So I end up with a larger number here. And that makes sense because Regina has the higher wind speed, or the average higher wind speed. Okay? So you can kind of think of it as opposite operations. What do I need to do to get from one to the other? Okay? Usually there's a clue in the problem. And then from there, how do what's the opposite? How would I go the other way? A lot of times with these ones, we're working on division, so you're going to get a division problem. Hope that helps. Maybe I'll set up one more for you, and we'll take a look. So let's look at, let's look real quick at this one. So the world's largest river is the Nile in Africa, and it gives its length. This is about 1 5/8 times as long as Mackenzie. I'm going from so with this one, I can see that the Nile is the bigger one, okay, and the Mackenzie is the small one, okay. So it says the world's longest river has length. Okay, this is about 1 5/8 times as long as the Mackenzie. Okay, so what it's saying is if I'm going from the Mackenzie to the Nile, it's 1 5/8 times as big, right? So I'm going to multiply that way. Okay. Now, if I'm going the opposite way, I'm going to divide by 1 5/8 with that one. So that's a good way to kind of look at it. Okay. It's similar on part B. Okay. Real quick on 9, we have Sven. That's a good skier's name. And Sven is going up the hill on his skis, and it takes him 9 3/4 minutes to ski up the slope. Okay. And then when he comes down a lot faster. It only takes him 2 1/4 minutes to go back down the slope. Okay, so we want to look at how many times as fast did he ski down. So if I have my 9 3/4, okay, and 2 1/4, how many times as fast is this than this, right? And what you're kind of looking for is how many 2 1/4 fit into 9 3/4. So that's the hint I'll give. Okay, how many 2 1/4, your speed down the hill, fit in there, and that'll give you the, how many times as fast is he going. Sometimes with these, the language can trip us up a bit, but hope those couple hints kind of help out a bit. All right, see you in the next one.